Welcome, fabulous team, to your 30-minute strength training workout. My name is Heather. I am so glad you are here today. Okay, here's all we need for this workout. You need one large plate or one large weight. You need one medium plate or one medium weight. And if you don't have weights, no big deal. Think outside of the box. You could use a can of soup. You could use a gallon of water, something that would just load weight on your body. And then for a bench top, I use an ottoman because I don't have a bench. But if you guys don't have anything like that, no big deal. Just bring your bodies down on your mat and we'll make it work that way. Okay, so we're gonna start out whichever weight you choose, but we're gonna start out with the legs. Usually with the legs, we use a heavier weight. You're gonna have your heels slightly outside of your hips. Roll your shoulders back so you have perfect posture. And then team, for a minute and 30 seconds, we're gonna squat, holding the weight just on one side of our body. You're probably wondering, why are we holding the weight on one side of our body? Because as we squat, we're loading our body, but we're also forcing our core just to work a little bit harder, right? Because our core is keeping us stabilized. If the core wasn't braced, we would want to lean towards the side with the weight, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep our shoulders directly over our hips so that our posture is perfect. And now, let's talk about form. As we go down, I want your knees to slide right down the center of your foot, okay? Give that a look. Make sure that's happening, but then don't continue to look down. Look into the horizon because that will keep posture perfect. Every single time you rise up, push your heels into the floor. Push them in nice and hard down into the floor, okay? As you push them into the floor and you rise up, squeeze those glutes. Every single time you come to the top of the move, squeeze those glutes. We only have 9 seconds left. Our next move then, team, is we're gonna be down on our bench or on our mat, getting ready for a chest press. We have 2 and 1. Okay, so come on down. Now you're gonna keep that weight in the same hand. Don't change hands at all. Both arms are gonna be up nice and high. Then the other arm, the arm with the load, is gonna move. So a chest press, you come down, elbow stops right at the top of your bench top, or right at the top before it hits the floor, okay? And when you're on the down, your hand stays directly over the elbow. In fact, through the entire move, your hand stays directly over the elbow. Other hand is gonna be straight up. Why is it straight up? You'll notice every single time you drop that elbow, your body is gonna wanna twist to that side. Again, force the core down. Pull the core, pull the belly buttons down into the spinal cord so that you stay stabilized on that bench. If there's a point where you really feel like you're gonna slide off, take the one arm that's not loaded and lean it out to the side and just hold it out to the side. That'll help you counterbalance just in case you feel like you're gonna drop to one side. But if you want it up here, that's just a little bigger challenge. All right, you guys, we only have 4, 3, 2, we're gonna stand up. You're gonna probably leave this weight here, but if you want the heavier weight for your back, absolutely fine. Load the same side of your body, and then this is called a rear delt. We're gonna lift our elbow up, even with our shoulder. So lift it up, and when it's lifted up, keep that hand directly underneath that elbow, okay? So force the elbow up, but don't even think about forcing it up, or don't just think about forcing it up. Think about lengthening the distance from the shoulder to the elbow. Make that nice and long, but still keep that hand directly underneath that elbow, okay? So force that elbow up, and what are we doing? We're taking our shoulder blade on the loaded arm and we're sliding it right into the spinal cord. Feel it slide in, and then when you bring your arm back down, Feel it slide out. How are we doing on time? We're doing awesome. We have 20 seconds left. Here's another thing I want you to think about during the rear delt move. When you come down, take the inside of the elbow and push it in. Push it in, just like that. Because that means then, yes, you're working your back, but every time you push the inside of that elbow in, you're working your chest. We have only 2, and we're gonna go right back down to our bench. You're probably gonna grab the heavier weight, but it's your choice, and we're in the same arm loaded, and we're gonna go into flies. Now flies, little bigger challenge than the chest press. Why is that? It's a longer lever. So as that weight drops out to the side, you're gonna feel your body pull to that side. But again, we're not gonna let that happen. We're gonna have our abs braced. We're gonna push our lower back into our bench or into our mat, wherever you guys are at. So arm long. Take a look at that nice long arm. But elbow always stays soft. So you never want to lock out the arm, but you also don't want to bend that arm so much that you're pretty much doing a chest press again. And then other arm, straight up. But if you feel like you're going to slide off the loaded side, have that arm out to the side to help you counterbalance. Let's see, how are we doing on time? We have 22 seconds left. So arm is long. When you pull up, think about taking the inside of the elbow and pressing it towards the other elbow. That way you're really activating that chest every time you squeeze that elbow into the other elbow. Okay, so we only have 2 and 1. Come on up, set that weight to the side. If you want to stay loaded with the heavier weight, perfect. I'm gonna switch back to the lighter weight. Same side loaded. And now we're doing a reverse fly. Super important on the reverse fly. Each time you open up, your body may want to twist to the side that's loaded. Don't let it. You keep that chest parallel with the floor, okay? Arm is long, elbow is soft. This time, don't just think about the distance from the shoulder to the elbow. Think about the distance from the shoulder to the hand. Really drive that hand out to the side wall, and then think about driving that elbow up to the back corner of your room, okay? That'll make sure you are really in full range as you do this move. Feel that shoulder blade slide into the spinal cord and feel it slide right out. We have 22 seconds left. Slide in and slides right out. Abs braced. Don't let that core twist at all as you lift that arm up. You're starting to feel it in your back? I bet you are. We have 4, 3, 2. Team, you're gonna stand up nice and tall. Set that posture, nice and easy. Bicep curl, right? So with the bicep curl, the range is starting from the hip up to the shoulder every single time. Now, as we do this, you may want to twist. You may find your body starting to twist to one side, but remember, the reason why we're loading only one side of our body is to force that core to get stronger, and it is, okay? So you lift that weight right up to the shoulder, pulling that weight into the shoulder. Every time you pull it in, make a muscle. Yeah, show off a little bit. Show off that muscle every single time you pull it. Don't forget though, when we stand, we want to lock out our knees sometime. Keep those knees soft, right? Because if we lock out our knees, we could faint. We don't want to faint, right? So nice and tall, shoulders pull to the back, abs are braced. You're pulling in that fist right to the shoulder. 20 seconds left. Keep on pulling that fist right in. Another thing you could do, press your heels down. Press your heels down into the floor, because then you're activating your legs too. So you're not just isolating the bicep, you're activating lots of muscles in your body as you're working that bicep. Team, 2, All right, tricep kickbacks. If you want to lean, you go ahead and lean on your leg. The goal is elbow, you press it straight up. And when you press it straight up to the sky, you also lock it in towards the rib cage, okay? Then press your pinky up. Press it up nice and high. The higher you press it up, the more you are activating that tricep. Let's also think about the legs. Push your heels down into the ground. Push them down, because you know when you do that, your hamstrings engage, right? So yeah, again, you're working your tricep, but you can work your legs just by pressing your heels down and activating those triceps. Another thing that happens when we fatigue, we do this. Keep your shoulder blades pulled to the back so that spinal cord is very straight. You want that spinal cord straight. And then if you are leaning, make sure you're leaning on your mid-thigh. You never want to lean on a knee or on a hip. You never want to lean on a joint. So lean on mid-thigh. How are we doing on time? We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on up, keep that arm bent, and we're gonna go right into shoulders, okay? So your arm is bent at 90, and you're lifting your elbow up even with that shoulder, okay? So sometimes when we do this, we actually start to pull our shoulder into our neck. You don't wanna do that. Think about lengthening here, and then think about lengthening from here to here, okay? Another thing that will happen when you fatigue, you'll either lean or you'll lean. Keep abs braced to keep those shoulders directly over those hips. Knees are soft. Press those heels down nice and hard so you're activating your legs too as you work that shoulder. All right, 35 seconds left. Then we're gonna go down on our mat and we're gonna do abs. So I will, after this 35 seconds is up, I'll move my ottoman top so that I can go down on the mat. We have now 20 seconds. Keep that body, keep those belly buttons pulled back, body braced, shoulders pulled to the back side, and continue to lift that elbow up, really feeling, really challenging that shoulder. All right, you have 2, and you have 1. All right, I'm gonna set this over to the side, and then let's come down on our mat. Again, that same hand is holding. You're gonna have your knees up, and you're just gonna lift your body up. Just like this, forcing the weight right up into your ceiling. Now, if your knees up become a lot, hey, no big deal. Set them down and still continue to force that weight up. Your other hand is just hanging out. It's not on the ground. It's not trying to help you press up. The part of your body that is pressing up are your abs, right? And it's mostly your rectus abdominis. Those are your stair-step muscles that run straight up and down your core. But of course, because you're loaded on one side of your body, you're also activating that oblique right there. So keep on pressing. Keep on pressing. See, we have 25 seconds, and then we get to start all over, right? Pretty cool. But when we start over, we'll switch the load. We'll bring the weight to the other side of the body. 14 seconds. Continue to really press your chest up to the ceiling. And as you press your chest up higher, you'll get that weight closer to the ceiling too. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, awesome job. I'm gonna set that to the side. I'm gonna put my ottoman back down. Are you ready to do it all over again? Me too. Okay. So, grab that heavier weight. Heels outside of hips. Roll your shoulders back so your posture's perfect. And let's begin. So back into the squat. second round, and I'm truly hoping maybe you guys are starting to feel it. Remember, fatigue is success. Fatigue means you've worked really hard, which then means you're successful. Let's go back and visit form. Knees. Track right down center of foot. Give that a check. Make sure you're doing that. But then, once you make sure you're doing that, lift that head back up. Look back into the horizon. Let's brace the core. So those shoulders and hips stay in line. We don't want to lean towards that weight like that. So make sure that your shoulders and hips are in one line. When you rise up, push your heels into the floor. Feel the backs of your legs activate every single time you push your heels through the floor. And then one more thing, top of the move, you squeeze those glutes. Squeeze them tight. So when you think about it, on the drop down, with the knees tracking center of foot, you're working quads. When you rise up, pushing heels into floor, squeezing glutes, you're working hamstring and glutes. Team, you only have 2 and 1. Now we get to go down. So keep that hand holding that weight. Both hands are up. And here you go. Chest press. So again, let's visit form. Form, so important, okay? When you come down, when your elbow's down, your elbow will never drop below your bench top or actually won't touch the floor if you're on your mat. Hand always stays directly over the elbow through the entire move. Think about lengthening the distance from the shoulder to the elbow. Think about making that long, but still keep that hand directly over the elbow. Okay, so here's what I want you to feel. When you drop down, feel your shoulder blade. It's gonna press into the floor or it's gonna press into your bench top. When you rise up, feel the elbow press in. Feel it press in. So, what does all that mean to you? On the drop down, you are activating the back. On the rise up, that's when you're really activating that chest by pushing that elbow in. Push it in and push it in. You only have 2 and 1. Now you'll want to leave this weight right here and you're going to stand on up. Now if you want to hold that heavier weight for rear delts, you do that. Shoulder roll, perfect posture, and here we go. Working our back. So make sure those shoulders stay parallel with the floor. You don't want to twist either way. So keep everything in line. Keep the shoulder blades pulled down the back so your neck remains long and you don't hunch up like this. Elbow comes up even with that shoulder. Take a look at it, but don't look at it too long because then sometimes we actually twist to that side. So elbow right up even with the shoulder and hand stays underneath the elbow the entire time. So on the rise up, feel the shoulder blade slide right into the spinal cord. That's the work. Feel that work of your shoulder blade just rocking right into the spinal cord. And then on the down, drive the inside of your elbow in. Drive it in. That will work the chest. So keep on pressing up. We only have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now if you want to stay with that weight, you stay with that weight. We're going to go down to flies, and I'm going to switch over to the other weight. So here we are, we're up, and we open. Hey, when you guys just opened up, did you feel your body want to drop to the side with the weight? So did I. So what does that mean we have to do? Abs, you pull them down tight so that you anchor your entire body into either your mat or your bench top. Arm, long, elbows soft. When you open that arm, feel your shoulder blade press into your mat or your bench top. Feel that right there, okay? And when you pull it back up to the top, feel the inside of the elbow squeeze into the other elbow. That is the activation right through the chest. So keep pressing and keep pressing. Another thing that happens when we fatigue is our weight actually starts to come more over our face here. Make sure and keep the weight directly over the chest because we want to work the chest, right? That's why we're here. All right, you have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, come on up, set that weight down, or if you want to use that weight for the reverse fly, you go for it. Set posture, lean on over, reverse fly. Again, super important form. You knew I was going to say that though, right? Shoulders, you keep them parallel with that floor, okay? No twisting. You'll either want to twist one or the other way. That's okay. But that's why we brace our core so we don't twist, okay? We force our body to stay straight and to stay solid. Arm is long, and on the up part, the elbow will almost match the shoulder, okay? Now the hand won't completely match the shoulder because your arm, the elbow is soft. We're not gonna lock out that arm. And on the up, feel the shoulder blade. Feel it just slide right into the spinal cord. That's back work. And when your arm comes down, don't let gravity control that down. You control the down and feel it right here in the chest as you control the down. Pretty awesome, right? Okay. We have 10 seconds. That's it. Push your heels to the floor. Activate those legs. Keep your body nice and strong. You have only 2 and 1. All right. Stand up tall. Set your posture. Bicep curl right here. So the form of the bicep curl, you start from the leg and you pull into the shoulder. When we start from the leg, that means from the leg. A lot of times we start doing this, and that's momentum. We don't want to use momentum. We want to use our muscle, because when we just use our muscle, we make that muscle stronger. And isn't that why we're here? All right, I want you to show off. Pull that weight into your shoulder. Pull it into your shoulder. Really make that bicep pop, okay? Shoulders over hips, abs braced, chest lifted. What does chest lifted mean? That means shoulder blades are pulled down your backside to keep that chest open. And then with our legs, push your heels into the floor, but keep your knees soft. Just 20 seconds left of the bicep. Is your muscle starting to get warm? I hope so. Keep your abs braced. We have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, team tricep kick back. All right, if you want to lean, you get to lean. Take your elbow up, press it into the rib cage, and then push your pinky right up to the sky. So remember, elbows up nice and high. Pull that elbow in close to the body. Yes, close to the rib cage. Then press the pinky up. Press it up as high as you can, really activating that tricep. Now on your chest, keep your chest even with the floor. So you don't want to twist like this. I know I'm looking at you, so my head is twisted, but my shoulders, my chest, parallel with the floor. Heels, you press them into the floor, activating those hamstrings. Yeah, we're working the triceps, but we want to work everything else in our body too, right? And abs, let's work them. You pull them up. And if you're leaning, do not lean on a joint. Don't lean on a knee or a hip, just lean on mid-thigh. 20 seconds left, and then we're into shoulders. So keep pressing up and pressing up. The higher you press, the more you're really working that tricep. And think about how big, how long that tricep is. From the shoulder all the way down to the elbow. So if we work that tricep and make it strong, our arms will look amazing. All right, keep that arm bent. And now shoulder work. First, slide your shoulder blades down the back side. Remember, that's how we keep our chest lifted and open. Abs are braced tight. That helps with our posture. Heels, press them into the floor, but keep those knees soft. Then your elbow, you bring it right up to the shoulder every single time. Now, we're not really bringing it past the shoulder. You don't want to bring it up really, really high. You just want to bring it right up to shoulder height. Remember, those abs are keeping our body solid and straight. So continue to keep the belly buttons drawn back. We have just 30 seconds left. And then you guys know what? We're down and we're doing sit-ups and then we're done. This is going super, super fast. So you lift and squeeze it. Yeah, did you ever think about the squeeze in? A lot of times we just think about the lift that works the shoulder, but if you pull the elbow into the side of the body, you're activating so much more in your body. You're activating your lats too. Team, you only have 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm gonna move my ottoman out of the way, and then we're gonna go down on our mats. So, knees over hips, and you're crunching. Just crunch right up. Your goal here is to lift the shoulder blades up and off your mat. And as you do that, you will press your weight up even higher. Can you press that weight up just one more inch, but maybe every time? Imagine what a difference that's gonna make. So you know, we're working rectus abdominis. That's our stair step muscle, the muscle that runs straight up and down our core. And we're working the oblique on the side of the body that's loaded. Keep lifting, keep lifting. Team, 30 more seconds to really shake those abs, so keep pressing that weight up. Pulling those shoulder blades off, and you know, if this becomes a lot, set those feet down. That's absolutely perfect. You do not have to keep those knees over those hips. And then also remember, if you're feeling fatigue, give yourself a hand, because that means you are absolutely successful. We only have 2 and 1. Awesome, awesome job today, you guys. I am so glad that you are here. And if you liked this, please let me know. And I'd love for you to join Team Heather. I think that'd be terrific. Have a fantastic day.